Welcome to the Ping Post Prosper podcast, where we dive into real stories from the lead generation space and the pivotal strategies behind business success. Today's guest is Stephen from Solcertain, a leading name in solar and home services lead generation. Stephen shares his inspiring journey from corporate life to running a thriving businesses, the tools he uses to stay ahead, and more. Let's jump right in. Hi, Stephen. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here. I would love to start with asking you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got your company or what your company Solcertain does?
Yeah, we started in 2017 in the solar niche. So we've been doing that for the past 7 to 8 years. And then we just recently got into bath remodels and window replacements. But mostly just started in solar, generating leads online. And then just recently started working with you and Lead Prosper, doing a pay-per-lead program. It's going phenomenal right now. So
I love it. And it seems like you're scaling. How long have you been in the lead generation space? Sounds like you've been there since 2017, but really, in terms of the solar, when you first got in, what got you into lead generation in the first place?
Um, I worked at a corporate office at the Golf Channel. I thought I wanted to work in the golf industry in the Golf Channel and NBC. It was one of my dream jobs. And then I realized that I didn't want to climb the corporate ladder because there's about 50 other people doing the same thing I did. So I realized I might be in the wrong path. Found a coaching program that showed you how to generate leads on Facebook in 2017, which not a lot of people were doing, and it was really hard to build out certain landing pages if you didn't know. So that's how I got into it, and then from there it just continually scaled. We wasted a bunch of money on advertising just because we didn't really know what we were doing. And eventually you're just building up your skill sets over and over again, buying more courses, seeing mentors, and I think we're one of the top marketing companies, maybe in solar, maybe the top 10 to 15, but it's been a great wild ride.
Absolutely. Sounds like you've been through a lot of hills and valleys in that journey. What has kept you kind of centered in that, in terms of keeping you motivated, even in the tough times?
Yeah, well, we see a lot of competitors just come and go. Solar isn't a easy niche to generate leads in, especially with lead generation. You have to rely on sales reps to follow up correctly and have a good sales script. And a lot of them will just blame the marketing companies. They'll get a little discouraged, maybe go into a different vertical that's easier to generate leads. So I think the main thing that gets us motivated is we've been here for the long haul. We see a lot of people come and go, um, and it's not an entirely saturated industry on the marketing side. It's more or less just getting the right clients and making sure that they have a good sales process that aligns with our lead generation strategies.
That's cool. And yeah, you said it best. It definitely, in terms of hills and valleys, can be hard to stick it out. But the people who have been there forever seem to know, like, you just kind of persevere in that regard. And it's cool to see you thrive even through those valleys. Um,
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about your experience with Lead Prosper. How did you first come up across us, and what was going on in your business at the time that made you start looking for a solution?
Yeah. Well, a lot of clients just don't like to do the retainers anymore. They've been burnt a lot with, small individual companies that aren't even in business anymore. So we needed to find a solution that it was easier to get, for them to get used to our services. So it wasn't more or less of a downsell, it was more or less an easier sales process for them because they could start, maybe $250 in budget and then increase it once they like the lead quality. So we were looking at a couple other different competitors. So I do a lot of research. I have a big spreadsheet, and we had a bunch of checklists, and you clicked all the checklists, and we had a couple calls before we signed on, and it's been phenomenal since. Support is amazing. I think every time I send an email, I say don't respond right away, and you guys do all the time. So it's been a great experience.
We love to hear it. Can you give us like a quick rundown about how in your day-to-day you're using Lead Prosper?
Yeah, we're using it with our sales team. We have email templates, so if we get a, let's say, like an individual rep that doesn't have a lot of capital and just doesn't have the funds to do marketing like the big enterprise clients that you might run into, um, we'll get them on the program for $250, and then usually when they come into Lead Prosper, they like it a lot better because there's other pay per lead models out there, and they've always said that the platform at Lead Prosper looks so much user friendly and easier to operate. So once they get into that portal, it's pretty easy to maybe even get them to give us more ad spend as well. But on the day to day, it's just really looking at the returns, dupe checks. Um, I personally don't know a lot about Lead Prosper compared to the some other people on the team, so I'm more or less just looking in to making sure that the campaigns are operating, and any of the returns, we're looking at them and making sure that they're either getting rejected or accepted.
That totally makes sense. I mean, Lead Prosper was designed for teams, and so each level of understanding can still log in and do their day-to-days. And we love having that feature just to work with different members of teams. Can you talk to me a little bit about if you had one favorite feature that you've experienced thus far in Lead Prosper, what would that be?
Yeah. I would say to be able to duplicate the campaigns or the buyers. So if we need to launch another campaign with maybe a different landing page, be able to duplicate that buyer into a different campaign. The auto charge feature is really nice as well, especially integrated with Stripe. But I would say those would probably be the top two that I like.
I love it. In terms of if someone was looking to you and thinking about using Lead Prosper, but they weren't really sure about it yet, what would you tell them?
I would say customer support. You can sign up for Salesforce and HubSpot and give them thousands of dollars, and then you have an email that might be a response time of 48 hours to get something done if you're not paying them the big bucks. With Lead Prosper, your support is phenomenal, especially right when you sign on. You have several different team members that will literally get on Zoom with you to set it up. I know just being a SaaS company, the first 2 or 3 weeks is determined if they're going to be a long life customer, and you definitely may be one. So I would just say really the support and the hands-on training they give you is definitely the best thing about Lead Prosper.
We do our best for new customers, continuing customers, and really just to help businesses grow. Were you use anything before Lead Prosper in terms of your lead management or things like that?
I'm still using Go High Level, um, but more on just the lead nurturing and texting for some of the individual clients that don't have their own CRM built out. But with the enterprise clients, we're just setting up through Zapier. But right now, just Zapier and Go High Level at the moment.
So it sounds like in terms of it's extending your tech stack. Lead Prosper added more of a distribution piece to what Go High Level might have been needing in your tech stack.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have other like affiliate buyers that will start using Lead Prosper with the one-on-one feature that you released. So I'm excited about that as well, just to see more of a profit margin analytics to other buyers.
We ask this question a lot, but in terms of the next 6 months to a year, what is what does the future look like for you in terms of your
Um,
business?
yeah, that's a good question. To be honest with you, the pay per lead program within Lead Prosper, the way we've set it up, is a really good a sell. It's an easy sell. A lot of their competition doesn't have that; it's all retainers. So I'd really like to maybe be one of the biggest pay per lead providers for home services, other than dealing with Modernize or Home Advisor. But I think we could get there, especially with the Lead Prosper platform and its easy interface with clients that aren't really too tech savvy. So that's where I really want to be, because I think that's the future, is the pay per lead model. Instead of paying a huge retainer and hoping and praying that the marketing company is going to get you the results you want, you're only paying for a qualified lead that's in your zip code and in your area that you really need. So
Sounds like the future is bright for you, and lofty goals are fantastic because, I mean, at the end of the day, you can accomplish more than even you put your mind to, right? And a lot of times, like we set goals thinking they're lofty, and then we accomplish them anyways. And it's cool to see you have high goals, and we hope to help you accomplish them. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your experience with Lead Prosper thus far?
Um, I would probably say that, you know, obviously there's competition out there. There's other platforms like Lead Prosper. I did a lot of research on everything in a tech stack. And again, to make it easier for everyone that might be watching this, it really just comes down to customer experience and client success and support, especially with platforms like this. Um, and I've never really seen anything like it. I almost compare you guys to like a Ritz-Carlton or some high-end, customer service like an American Express. So um, that's really what the main selling point is the support you give all your clients.
Again, I can't say enough about those kind words. We really appreciate the feedback on that.
Yeah.
Last but not least, if someone wanted to know about you and your company, where could they go to learn more about you?
Yeah, they can go to solcertain.com. We have a YouTube channel and Instagram, but mostly all of our content is on solcertain.com. You can book a demo. There's phone numbers everywhere on the website, but yeah, definitely get in touch if you're interested in solar windows or bath remodel leads.
We love it. Thank you so much for meeting with us today, Stephen. We are excited to continue to see your growth in 2025. I just want to say thank you again for joining, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Bye.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Ping Post Prosper. A huge thank you to Stephen from Solcertain for sharing his journey in solar and beyond, and for highlighting how Lead Prosper has helped his business grow. If you enjoyed this conversation, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join us for more episodes full of lead generation tips and success stories. See you next time.